Well, 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 well. Oh, this is not good for my computer, apparently. I guess I can hold it. Hi, whoever's here. Oh my gosh. Hi, Julie. I just went on my computer to try to go live. It won't let me. There's some kind of something I need to do to make it some description. Sometimes I wonder why I bother. I was going to talk today about judgment. Because I was reflecting on it since my mom, computers. I mean, it's not even the computer. The computer's fine. Hi, Cynthia. The computer's fine. It's Facebook wanting me to put a description somewhere. There's a description in there, but it won't let me go live. It's like a little gray thing. Please add a live description. So here I am on the phone. Sheer frustration. And when that comes up, I was watching, because Peter was watching some freaking thing. Oh, this is perfect. He was watching some freaking thing on gangster killing, whatever, mob shit. There's my judgment, because I'm doing this about judgment. It was automatic. The thoughts of, why the fuck does he have to watch that bullshit, all that killing, all that, because it's totally opposite of what I subscribe. It's all about murder. Glorifying murder, I guess. So there's my judgment, which makes it automatically want to be angry. You shut that off. He had already asked me, let me know when you want to shut. So there was that going on, loud about the mobster bullshit. Real life murder documentaries. Oh, Jewel. Okay, that's fine for you. But there's so... Anyway, makes you fearful, doesn't it? Makes you scared of what might happen in the future to someone I love. Anyway, so I just watched how this wanted to blame and attack him for that judgment of he shouldn't be watching that. Why does he watch that shit? Blah, blah, blah. But it was amping up as the time was coming down. Gives you ideas. You plan on killing somebody? I wouldn't say that on a Facebook Live. They're watching. My girlfriend posted something recently about killing. It was just a joke. You know, she's always posting funny things. It's good to know, though. No, not for me. I don't even watch the news. I don't need to know any of that. I'll stay in my little bubble. It just creates more, confusion, more turmoil in the mind. You know, needs to know about shit that you really don't need to know. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't know it. I'm just saying it just causes more turmoil within. like just now, the turmoil, every single turmoil is caused by your own judgment. It's not what the other person is doing, because it's quick to blame the other person. It's your own. But you have to be willing to look at yourself in any relationship, in any, like with my mom passing. Actually, even with Peter, talking with her, saying, he's sorry that he wasn't a good enough son-in-law. And my mom's like, what? Wait, don't talk like that, Peter. That's not, she didn't feel that way at all. But he's carrying that judgment, that self-judgment of not good enough. We carry that inside, not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm doing it wrong. That's the message we get as little kids. And we do it to our kids. Not purposely, it's been done. That's why I'm talking about this. It was his own self-judgment, yes. And so this morning I had to talk with him about, do you feel good enough as a father? No. Do you feel good enough as a husband? No. Do you feel good enough? What? Did you see that? There was a sum that came up on the screen. That was weird. Do you feel good enough as a friend, as a brother-in-law, as a whatever, across the board? No. See what we do? I don't know where that came from. I put my thumb up. I don't know. It's not doing it again. Anyway, somebody, the message that's been coming to me lately from a lot of people on Facebook and different places, be gentle with yourself. Because the judgment comes from within first. Judging yourself as doing it wrong or not good enough. That's where it all starts. Then we take it out on others instead of looking within and saying, okay, I'm getting angry with them from something that's going on within me. What is it? Get quiet. Get quiet and ask. Oh yeah, if you're just a little bit willing to ask. Take a breath, because the answers will come. If you're willing, you only have to be a little bit willing. Whenever you're blaming somebody else for your pain and suffering, you know it's not true. You're believing something that you're thinking, that an ego mind is thinking. And that ego is not who you are. It's a collection of thoughts. It's not who you are. We're identified with this body and mind, the mind, ego, the collection of thoughts about a me that can do it wrong. And when I can do it wrong, so can they. But when you point your finger at they, 3 of them are pointing back at you. You're believing something that's not true about yourself in every single case. This can change every relationship, including the one with yourself. Judgment stops you from loving yourself or seeing the love that you are. So there's a paradox here. You are that life force. Some people call it God. You are that. There's no man in the sky damning you to hell for doing wrong things. That's a message we get as kids. It's not true. You are that God force, that life, that essence. When Mom took that last breath, we're so afraid of dying. Well, the ego doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to even think that it's going to die. But as it dies, as you hear this message, it starts dying. And what's replaced is God, which is love for the self. When you believe you are the person, it's about loving the person. unconditionally. As you love yourself, you love others. But going beyond that is finding out that we are that love, that God. It's not going to be found in outside, in anything. It's what we already are. Whatever's making this hand do this, whatever's making the words come out, whatever's making the trees grow, leaves fall, snow fall, sunshine come. Yeah. Hi, Melissa. Oh, nice. You must be done with your trip, your vacation now. They're on a cruise. That's why we've got the cat. So anyway, that God love we're taught as little kids is outside of us, judging us. We better be good or God's gonna send us to hell. There is no hell. Literally, hell is between your ears. When you're thinking and believing that you are this body and mind, that's painful because it's constantly judging others and itself for not being enough, or judging somebody else's life for doing it wrong. Everybody's doing exactly, reacting from their thoughts. A baby. I just came from up north with my baby. He's 7 months old. There's no thinking. My mother-in-law he got really quiet and just staring, and she goes, he's just thinking. I wanted to say, but I zipped it. How could he be thinking? He doesn't have any thoughts. He doesn't know anything. A thought, words come from a thought. He doesn't know anything yet. Ever thought about that? A baby doesn't know. Love is the ultimate, Julie. I love how you spread the word and the freedom. Carry on. Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for dropping by. That baby is pure love. Pure love. Empty. He's empty. We can project all of our thoughts onto him. He's thinking. About what? He doesn't even know there's eyeballs. He doesn't know there's a body. He doesn't know there's a thought. He's literally empty. There's nothing. That's why it's so fun to be around babies. He's thinking about boobies. That's true. He's crying for boobies. There's a sensation in the body. See, that's another thing, Julie. We have sensations within. And then we start, I just listened to, I read, my mother had a journal from when she had breast cancer. And she wrote every day. Oh, the sadness, her thought process. I just saw clearly how when we believe these thoughts and believe that we are this, it is so painful. It's so painful. She had sensations like she had fallen. Hi, Kyle. Looks like you had a great trip. There are sensations that come, like say you fall. She had fallen on a trip and she had bruises on her body and her mind was making it into a bruise will heal. She was able to move. There was nothing horrible happened. Except she is good. She stopped howling, apparently. She was very happy to see me. She did not run from me. Apparently, your mom says, and Peter says she ran from your mom, went into the bed. But she was on the bed when I came in last night, and she was purring as I was patting her. Then she came over to me when I was on the couch. Yeah. But she misses you, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. How do we know? A cat's like a baby. They don't have thoughts. Not linear thoughts like we do. There's no time. There's no time for an animal. They have a sensation that comes up around a certain, it doesn't go by clock time. Like say you feed the cat at 5 o'clock. It does not know it's 5 o'clock. It knows it's a certain type, senses I can't even say time. It senses what's usual in its life or whatever, but there is no timeline. The time is literally from thought. The timeline of a me, a body that's born and dies. It's literally when Mom's light went out. Oh, right. I posted that Mom talked about when well, because we watched all those near-death experience things last year together as Dad was passing, as the light was going out of Dad's body. She said, I mean, literally, it was 7 exact days from his death. A year. Short of a year. 7 days short of a year when Dad passed. Wow. Anyway, she said, do you want to know what it's like to die? And I said, yes, because we watched all those near-death experience videos. Jeff Mara has an awesome podcast on YouTube that just people from across the globe saying basically the same thing, is that they're greeted by their loved ones. So we talked about the different people she's going to meet, and she would light up. Anyway, she says one day when I walked in, Thursday, when I walked in, that was Hannah's birthday. She says, you want to know what it's like? I said, yeah. She says, it's a field of daisies and chrysanthemums as far as you can see. And I'm running through it with 2 nuns on either side of us. No, we had 2 nuns in the family, and my grandmother's sisters, and with the blue robes. And it brought up her guilt because she changed to Seventh-day Adventist from Catholic. She was brought up Catholic, but she carried that guilt all the way to the end. Guilt that's a sensation in the body, guilt. We carry so much guilt for nothing. That's what concretizes the idea that we are this body and mind. Guilt, shame, regret, blame, all of it is bullshit. All of that causes pain and suffering. That's what hell is. Right here when you're believing all those thoughts of guilt and shame and blame and all of that negative bullshit in your head is literally what's causing hell right here. It can be heaven here when you question that and realize that's just a thought. It's just a thought. Because we'll have a sensation in the body, and a thought comes to describe it, which is shit. Those thoughts are hell. But you don't have to believe them is what I'm saying. You are the watcher of them. When you can see those thoughts, oh my goodness, then they don't take you down the road of doom. A lot of them are regret from the past, or guilt or shame. I did something wrong, which isn't possible, and then throwing it into a future. And the minute you believe there's a future, a lot of the future, I've noticed, has to do with money, lack of money. There's not going to be enough money. There is no future. You want terror, get a future. There is no future. You will never be in the future. You won't. There's only now. The timeline isn't even real. It goes along with this idea of a body and mind, but that's not who you are. Can you imagine just living now, not believing any of those thoughts? That's where joy and happiness is, when you're now. No identification with a body or mind, or the mind taken from the past and thrown in the future. It's a whole different, and I'm not saying that I'm there. Please don't believe that I've got this conquered. I have not. There's been a lot of searching, and it's still not, but it's a lot more than the average person. I was watching things on the plane yesterday, listening to different conversations, Anyway, back to Mom. She said about the field of chrysanthemums and daisies. Hi, Angelique. Present moment. Yes, Cynthia. So I said to her, she said she was running through the fields or whatever, and Angie, my sister, asked her, were you running or were you just floating? And I think she realized it was really just floating. And then I said, how did it feel? And she said, light. I felt so light. Can you imagine feeling light? Light is what we are without believing the thoughts. The light. Light, love, God, life, universe, whatever. There's so many names for it that you're never gonna put what we are in a box. Your mind is gonna try to identify with it. You're never gonna. You can't. It just is. Right here, right now. That's all there is this. Now. Everything else is imagination. Imagine that. She also said to me, I lived Gloria's life. Her name was Gloria, not mine. If that isn't the most profound words that have ever come out of her mouth, I was like, this is my whole message, is that we are living a life identified as our name, and it's not who we are. And she got it, but it was on her deathbed, literally in bed, not able to get out of bed ever again. She knew she was going, she knew, but it was okay. There was no fear. The nurses and the doctors were like, well, this is so much so that they let Angie and I sleep overnight in the intensive care unit. We slept in it. She happened to have the bed next to her empty, and there was a chair that flattened out into a bed. I said, because Mom didn't want to die on Thursday, the 15th, because that was Hannah, my granddaughter, her first great granddaughter's birthday. And I actually texted Hannah to see hi Cindy. I actually texted Hannah to see if it would bother her if Mima died on her birthday. And I left it up to her. Mima wanted that too. Because she was on things, they didn't know what was wrong with her. They were chasing one thing. They had antibiotics. The fluid was building up in her body, just like her mom did years ago. Hi, Karen. Anyway, nice to see you, Karen. As the conversation, there was a lot of conversation. She was so clear, so light. She was joking with the doctors. She was so quick-witted, not censoring what she was saying as being stupid, because she always believed she was stupid because she didn't graduate high school. That's what I read in her journal. She carried that shame all her life, and it didn't matter. Hi, Tim. Anyway, I'm getting off track. It was just so beautiful. Oh, so I texted Hannah, and she said she really would rather she didn't die on her birthday, and Mom honored it, even though the doctor came in when the nurses went and told them. They came in and she said, Gloria, this is a time in your life where you need to put yourself first. If you are miserable and you don't think you can make it, your granddaughter will understand. And we all agreed Hannah would understand, but she wouldn't do it. That's why we stayed. Oh, the girls said, okay, we're having a sleepover. I said, have you ever had a sleepover in the ICU? She goes, nope, but there's a first time for everything. Hi, Marge. So it ended up where I was in the chair that flattened out. I didn't really sleep flat. We didn't sleep really. Angie was in the bed. And her breathing was loud and the machine was loud or whatever. But literally at midnight, they came in, gave her some, it was not morphine, it was something with a D. And it's a little stronger because she was worried. The only thing she was worried about was gasping. She didn't want to gasp for air. And they told her they would make it so she didn't. Anyway, I've come to find out from hospice, from hospice people, that our bodies are made for it. You're not gonna be, if you're not fighting it, if you're accepting it like she did. The doctors and nurses were so amazed by her. So was I. I was like, I have the perfect model of how I'm going to accept it when it comes. Anyway, hopefully, I have a perfect model to follow. Anyway, so at midnight, they came and took everything. They took everything off and gave her the, whatever the hell it was, to keep her asleep or calm or whatever. So she ended up not waking up at all. So I didn't think I was ever gonna. But the nurse told me, when you talk to her, apparently the hearing is the last thing to go. They can still hear you. So her oxygen dropped to 70 and stayed at 70. She handled the whole situation incredibly. Yeah, what a model we have, Aunt Tiff. We have a model for a beautiful death. That's what everybody said. Such a beautiful death. What a blessing the whole thing was. And in the morning, Angie had to go get her computer in South Portland. So, because we didn't plan on spending the night in the ICU. So when she left, my girlfriend from down here had me do a little meditation next to her. And she was doing it too at the same time. And she told me what to do or whatever, what to envision or whatever. And all of a sudden, I felt Mom looking. I opened my eyes and she was looking. I went, hi. I said, I didn't think I was going to see your eyes again. And she started talking just like, she was so relieved that was gone. She had forced oxygen, the hardest thing before having being intubated. She said flatly, I was not going to be intubated. And we had a beautiful talk. I'll never, just the two of us. It was so much closure for me. Because I never believed I was a good enough daughter. There was a lot of friction, especially when she told me how to do life. And apparently I was doing the same thing to her without even realizing it. So there was so much healing in that conversation. And then when Angie came back, they came and put some more stuff into her. And when Angie came back, we all had a conversation together. It was, when she took, we were in the room we didn't know how long it was going to be. They put more stuff in so she would sleep peacefully or whatever. And when it was, I don't know if it was her oxygen, I think it was her oxygen dropped to 30. And they told us it would be 10 minutes, around 10 minutes that she was, and we both went, oh my God. So we went over to her bed, I held her hand and I said to her, thank you, and I love you, and I kissed her forehead. And it wasn't minutes later, she was gone. And the light that she was gone. Not who the body and mind was still there. The body and mind was dropped. When she said, I lived Gloria's life, not mine, that light that she talked about, who she really was, where did it go? Back into the everything. There's nowhere for it to go. It's nothing. Our minds don't want to hear that we are nothing. It wants to believe and hold on to a belief that I'm this person and I'm doing, which is causing pain and suffering across the board because I'm not doing enough or they're not doing enough for me, and all of that shit is all mind causing hell here on earth. And she's free. She was always free, but she didn't realize she was identified. That's why she said, I lived Gloria's life, not mine. But it's beautiful that with the whole culmination at the end was, I could not have scripted it better for me. It was, they say in the spiritual circles that we do script this. Hi, Virginie. They say that we do script this. If I did, thank you. Thank myself for that one, because boy, I just have so much peace. And I never thought, because Hannah said to me the week before Mima died, she says, I don't think you're going to take Mima's death as easily as you did Peepa's, because Peepa's was a totally different deal, but the gratitude and love that I can't think of him without smiling. I can't be sad at all, especially for him. I carry him right here. Each time I think of him, I just feel so much love. And the same is with Mom now because of how it all ended. Gratitude and love are the same vibration. When you have gratitude and love here, it's, what else is there? Literally, there's nothing else. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys for joining. I gotta have tissues here. I didn't think I was gonna. Thank you. One love, Phoebe. We are all that. Every single one of us. And it's just a thought that separates. A thought, a belief in this body and mind being me that causes pain and suffering and believing I'm separate from you. That one love, I'm going to go see that. Oh, we can go see that today. I want to see it. Somebody said it's really hard, Bob Marley's story called One Love. That was his story. It was about spreading love. And because he saw it. Same with John Lennon. Oh, there's so many that, Nelson Mandela. There's so many. Jesus, he tried to share it, but they've skewed his message a lot. But The Chosen, if you're going to watch anything, if you're aversion to God or Jesus or whatever, I'm not a Jesus freak, believe me. But his message, the reality of his message was spot on. Judgment hurts me. That's what this whole thing is about right now. I wanted to show that judgment, any judgment, because Mom and Dad couldn't live together, but they loved each other all the way to the end. And she couldn't live. She said 2 weeks before she went in the hospital, she said, I told God I was ready anytime he was. And literally within 2 weeks, God, she's with, well, the God that she believed he was outside of her. You can't put a label on it. But that's what the mind does. Anyway, she is it now. Completely. Totally. Without any separation. There is no separation. It's only a thought that there is. Anyway, I think I will go see that movie today. Somebody said that the dialect is really hard to follow. I wish they had subtitles at the bottom. But I want to see that movie. One love. That's what we are. And any pain and suffering you feel or hurting or judging someone else for being wrong, you're hurting yourself. Don't take my word for it. Check it out. Check it out for yourself. It's freeing. Okay. Again, I appreciate every single one of you for coming joining me today on this, what I'm calling unchurch. I'm going to figure out how to do it on my computer. I don't know why it wouldn't let me. Anyway, thank you, Cynthia. I send light and love to all of you. I love you all because you're me. There is no separation. Have a wonderful day and rest of your week ahead.